So making Windows 11 installation media is very, very, very simple. You are going to need at least, at a bare minimum, an 8 gig flash drive. Every time Microsoft Windows comes out with an update, the download gets bigger. It started at around 4.5 gig on Windows 11, and now it's up to like 6.5 gig after 22H2, 23H2, 24H2. Now we're at 25H2. Eventually, an 8 gig drive isn't going to be big enough unless Microsoft does a significant optimization and rewrite. So I have a 16 gig flash drive, and I have a very fast flash drive. We're going to start by opening our browser. It doesn't matter what browser you use. I don't care. Firefox, Chrome, Edge, whatever. Don't matter. And up here, we're going to do a search. We're going to type in download Windows 11 and whoops, Windows 22. Don't do that. All right, Windows 11. And the first link that we're going to see here, let's see, Microsoft.com. That's an advertisement. Right here. Microsoft.com, English, US. For me, it's in English, right? For you, that may come up in a different region if you're in a different region. And we're going to click on that. And we can put a link to this in the video notes, by the way, this right up here. And this is from Microsoft. This is how you know you're getting a real, legitimate, authentic, virus-free piece of software. Microsoft wants you to download it. We're not getting away with anything here except getting educated, right? Microsoft puts the information out, but Microsoft doesn't do the training. So we're here to train you. Now there's a Windows 11 installation assistant, and that's if you want to upgrade to Windows 11. If you want to upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11, you could use this Windows 11 installation assistant. If you have a very old version of Windows 11, like 23H2, and you want to skip over 24 and go to 25H2, you can use the Windows 11 installation assistant. But that's not what we're doing today. We want to create Windows 11 installation media. The other thing we can do is we can download the Windows 11 disk image for 64-bit devices. All Windows 11 requires 64-bit processors. So we can either do the Windows 11 installation media, or we can download the Windows 11 disk image ISO. So for me, I say let's just download the ISO, and it says select your download. And there's only one option for me here. And then confirm. And it says, hey, before you download, you got to make sure you meet all these specifications, which are always the same and have been the same for a number of years. So we'll just confirm, yes, yes, yes. And then it says it wants to know our region, and we want English, United States, and confirm. Now it says verify, where is it? Links valid for 24 hours. So it's going to create a link just for you. And right here it says 64-bit download. I think that's what I click on. And if you look in the upper right corner, it says it's downloading Win11 25H2 English x64 ISO. And it's moving along pretty quick there. We have a fairly quick internet connection here at Studio C. Now, while that downloads, we're going to start another download, and it's a very small download called Rufus. So I'll hit the plus to open a new tab. I'm going to type RUFUS, and the very first link that appears should take us to rufus.ie. IE is Ireland. This is a free open source utility that comes from Ireland, or the creator lives in Ireland. And we're going to download the latest version. Now, this does get updated regularly, and what I'm showing you could visibly change in the interface, but it's still always the same. Even when it looks a little different, if they move some things, it's always the same. We want Rufus 412 or 412 portable. They're both pretty much the same. So I'll pick 412, and it downloads instantly. See how fast that was? Now this ISO image, this big file, you see it's 7.2 gigs. So you can understand why you need at least an 8 gig flash drive. And you want to make sure that flash drive is empty. You don't want anything on it, or you're willing to erase it, because you need the whole thing, at least if it's an 8 gig flash drive, to create the image. In fact, even on my 16 gig flash drive, I want to format this and make it bootable for Windows. So if I have data on this, it better be data I don't want or I've already copied off. If it's a brand new flash drive, you just plug it in and use it. If it's a used flash drive, make sure there's nothing on it you want. There's no other way to do this. All right, now, when I'm done here, which is almost, looks like we got about 20 seconds left, we're going to go through the process of creating the ISO image. And the reason we're doing it with Rufus instead of with Microsoft's installation media is Microsoft likes to set certain settings their way, like forcing you to create a Microsoft account. With Rufus, it allows us to turn that off in a legitimate way that isn't going to have negative consequences. So with all of that downloaded, you can see we've got both of our files. We're going to close that out. A lot of people don't know where their files go. I'll see people hit the download button 6 times because they don't understand that if you click on your little yellow folder down here, you have a little section called downloads right there. And it'll show you everything you downloaded. And then you'll see the 16 times you downloaded the same thing with little parentheses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This drives me crazy that people have no idea that they're taking things and they don't know where they're putting them. So that's called downloads. Once again, if you downloaded something and you're looking for where it went, the Windows default, if you didn't change it, is to hit that yellow folder and to go to the downloads folder right there. And there's our 2 files. I am going to double click on Rufus and we'll say yes. It says, do you want Rufus to check for application updates online? Sure, why not? And this is what Rufus looks like. Close this out. It's a pretty simple program. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug my USB flash drive in, and I want you to watch right here where it says device. Right? I'm going to just find a blue USB port, take advantage of the speed. Give that a minute for USB to initialize with the system. And let's go down to device. Nothing yet. There it goes. See, I was being impatient. So the device is a 16 gig flash drive. It tells me SanDisk Extreme if I leave the mouse over it. Watch how easy this is. Ignore everything else. Ignore all of that. Don't worry about any of this other stuff. Right here, it says we want to do a disk or an ISO image. We're going to want to do, so just leave that alone. Nothing to deal with there. Hit the select button and find that ISO image, which is again in the downloads folder. It's only going to show files that end in .iso, which is why we're not seeing the Rufus program, because that's a .exe. It's a different file extension. So we're going to click that and click open. So all we're doing is making sure we've got the right target, that's our flash drive, and we've got the right file selected, which appears now over here. Then hit start. That's it. No other changes. Now Rufus says, hey, I just noticed this is a Windows 11 bootable image. Would you like to make some customizations to it? And I'm like, well, yes, as a matter of fact, I would. In fact, let me move camera 1. Let me just make it a little bit smaller. There we go, because I want you to be able to see all this. Do I want to remove the requirement for 4 gig of RAM, secure boot, and TPM? I would not like my identity stolen, so I'm going to say no. Remove requirement for an online Microsoft account. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. If every customer of mine was named Bob, I could just go ahead and have it automatically set the username to Bob. But because all of my clients have different names, which is so inconvenient for me, I'll just set that by hand. So I leave that alone, leave this alone, because not all my clients live in the same place. But if you're making this for yourself, you could set all this up. Disable data collection. I prefer to do this by hand. Disable BitLocker. This is a problem with Windows 11 Home where you may enable a BitLocker like encryption by default. I don't want BitLocker turned on under any circumstances. And if I change my mind, I'll do it by hand, but I will knowingly and willingly do that. I won't have it done in the background by default. So for me personally, these are the only 2 boxes I feel safe to check. And then as with regards to using the Windows CA 2023 bootloaders, that is, again, not applicable to us. If you want to know how I do it, this is how I do it, and this is why I do it this way. It's that easy. Click OK. It says, hey, we're going to delete everything on that flash drive. Are you sure you're going to, nuke this flash drive? You're okay with that? I'm okay with it. So I click OK. And then down here, we have a progress of it formatting and partitioning the flash drive. And then it'll start decompressing the ISO file and placing those files onto the flash drive. Now, this is a fast flash drive. This isn't going to take very long on your system, depending on your internet speed, depending on your flash drive speed, depending on your USB port speed. This may take longer, but not by much. So you'll see, because we're doing this in real time, this is a pretty quick routine process. Now, I use this all the time. So when I make a Windows 11 bootable media, I won't make it every time I need it. I make it once, and then I update it anytime Microsoft updates the ISO image, which traditionally has been every time a new version of Windows comes out. So Windows 11 22H2, for a whole year, I'm using the same bootable media for the whole year. On all my client PCs, all my persons, I just have the one flash drive, use it over and over and over again. But when Windows 23H2 comes out, on the day it comes out, that's when the ISO image is updated. However, I have heard from a very reliable source, but I haven't verified, that Microsoft is now updating the ISO image every month. And they started this, I guess, last month. So all those monthly security updates are automatically being embedded into the ISO image. So you can understand that if my ISO image is from 11 months ago, let's say we did this 11 months ago, and I have 11 months of Windows updates to catch up with when I'm done. But if Microsoft is going to update the ISO every month, and they're embedding all of the updates from the previous month into it, then that means if I update once a month, I never have more than 30 days of updates that are potentially missing. Assuming that's true, and we'll find out in time. And it's a very easy thing to do. When I download the ISO image, I'm just going to keep it on my drive, on my hard drive. And then when next month comes around, I'll download the ISO image and see if the file sizes are the same. If the file sizes are different, I know Microsoft has changed it. I am not going to embed the updates myself. I'm not going to create a custom installer. I don't have the kind of time home users have, and I don't have that interest. It is an endless job, and once you start it, it never has an end. You will do that forever. And you will end up spending more time updating your Windows 11 media than you actually use it. So for me, I would much rather just hit Windows Update and walk away. And even if it's 11 months of updates, it doesn't require me to do anything. But that's my attitude, because I'm trying to make money and I'm trying to get things done and I'm trying to help other people. If you like to tinker, have fun. But I don't demonstrate that because I don't do it. I don't condone it. I don't endorse it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It doesn't fit a business model that's sustainable unless you're on a grand scale. You know, if you're selling 1,000 computers a month, that's a different story. You can save a lot of time. But for the rest of us, it's the exact opposite. You're spending way more time trying to save time than if you just left it alone and just did the updates. But anyway, you see, we're already done with this. So we're going to hit close. And we now have a Windows 11 installation media. That's it. We're done. So if I plug this back in now and I restart this computer, let's do this. Let's do settings, Windows Update. Let's go to advanced options, and we'll go to recovery and advanced startup. Let's do the advanced startup, and we can instruct it that we want to start from the flash drive instead of from the internal NVMe drive. This way you don't have to worry about, is it F10, is it F12, when do I press it? You can. This just makes it so much easier because it's going to prompt you and ask you. So you don't have to worry about which key. It'll tell you where to click. You don't have to worry about when did I miss the opportunity. It'll wait for you indefinitely for you to answer the question. So this is a lot less stressful of a process. So in just a moment here, it's getting ready to start the advanced startup menu. And when that pops up, we're going to get some options here. And the option we want is use a device. And then there's only one device to pick from. That's our SanDisk Extreme. We click on that. And now it's going to reboot and start from the flash drive we just made, which is now bootable. And it's going to bring up the Windows 11 setup menu. And it's completely ignoring our NVMe drive. Watch. I like to call that the little toilet bowl that's flushing. Let's see, just a moment, and we should get a setup. There it is. That's all there is. It's that simple. Once you've made this, you can use it indefinitely. Eventually, it'll become obsolete. I don't make this when I need it. I make it before I need it. Once it's made, I label it so I know what it is, because I got a drawer of flash drives, and I put it away. Now, if there's a new update next month, if Microsoft is, in fact, if this is true and Microsoft is updating that ISO monthly, I think it'd be worth my time to go ahead, because it's so fast, it's so easy, and just start all over again. Put the same flash drive in, let it erase it, go through the exact same process with the newer ISO image, and now whatever the updates were that came out in the last month or the last time I made this, if in fact that is true, then I won't have to sit through all those updates. It'll just be that much faster after Windows is installed to getting any recent updates. But that's up to you to decide. Because again, I just typically make this once a year. And the older it gets, the more time goes by, the more updates I'm missing. It doesn't matter to me. I just hit the Windows Update button and I walk away. Like, I don't know. I'm here trying to make a living, and time is money. So I don't understand the impatience of a home user that complains about how long Windows Update takes. It goes right over my head, because they're not charging anybody. It's not costing them anything. Who cares? But just because I don't get it doesn't mean it's wrong. But for me, it's got to scale to a point that, am I spending more time to manually keep updating, or am I spending more time trying to embed everything by hand? I'm not embedding everything by hand. It's a job that will never end. The updates will never stop. You will never be done. And that might seem fun at first, but trust me, you will regret it. At some point, you're just going to throw your hands in the air and say, I'm done. I'm so sick of it. So ask me how I know. That's it. That's all there is. It's very, very simple. Now, there's no product key involved here. And we don't have to worry about Shift F10. We don't have to worry about Home versus Pro. Everything's on here. That'll wrap it up for me for today. Bye for now.